Hello and welcome to Essentials in Writing. Today I'm going to discuss with you how to use a rubric to score a piece of writing. The example rubric that I'm using today is also called a scoring guide, but it comes from Essentials in Writing on a personal narrative assignment. But the structure of most rubrics are all the same, typically the same, so I can use this as an example and it will still help you even if you're scoring using a different rubric for a different grade, different type of writing assignment. The rubric has two different sections. The first section is this section at the top, which is the specific areas in which you will be scoring, and then along the side here is the numerical number or words, we'll talk about that in a minute, that will help you with the actual scoring. Now, also, sometimes the numbers will be across the top here, and these words that I have across the top here will be along the bottom, or excuse me, along the side here. It doesn't matter which way it is because it still works the very same way. So let's talk about the section at the top. In this specific scoring guide, there are 4 different areas that we are going to be scoring, and since this is a personal narrative, the parts that are going to be scored are specific to narrative writing, and then the organization and focus of the narrative, the sentence structure and word choice used in the narrative, and then the mechanics of writing that are in the narrative. So under each heading, you will have a corresponding description for the specific amount of points that are to be received. Now, let me stop for just a moment and say, along the side here, these numbers could actually be correlated with words such as the 1 could be poor, the 2 could be fair, the 3 could be good, and the 4 could be very good or excellent, either way. And so they will correspond, these descriptions will correspond under the appropriate section as to what an excellent score would look like under this section, what a good score would look like under this section, what a fair score would look like under this section, and what a poor score would look like under this section. The numbers will be used later to actually provide a percentage score for the student, but it's not required. You could just as easily replace these numbers with words. So let's look at, for instance, let's skip over here to organization and structure. If a student is doing an excellent job in the organization and focus of the specific writing assignment, all of the things that are listed here will be evident. If the student is doing, good with their writing assignment, then all of these things will be evident. If the student did a fair job in organization and focus on the specific writing assignment, these things would be evident. And of course, poor is listed here. So, whenever you are scoring a writing assignment, such as this personal narrative or any other writing, using a rubric, it's great to do 2 things. Number 1, allow the student to see the rubric before they begin the assignment so they know how they will be scored and what is expected of them. And second of all, you, the scorer, will read through these areas so that you have a really good idea of what it is that you will be looking at to score. Once the student has completed the work, then basically you will just read the section narrative writing, read this section here, read this section here, and the section on number 2 and the section on number 3, and then make an appropriate judgment after reading the student's assignment to determine which one of these areas under narrative writing the student scored. And then you will do the same for organization and focus. Read each of the sections, then choose which one of these worked the best. And then same for sentence structure and mechanics. Now, another thing that's very important to understand is that let's just do a scenario real quick to help you understand how a scoring looks. Basically, you will, I just put an X through the section that the student received for the grade for the appropriate section. And so I would, if the student did a 4 in narrative writing, I would just put an X here. If they did a 3 here, I'd put an X here. And then you will tally these scores. So under the first section, you'll put the score here, which one you chose. Then you'll do the same for organization structure here, the next one for sentence structure and word choice here, and the mechanics here. So the corresponding number that's listed here for the one you chose for the specific area will be listed here at the bottom. All 4 section totals, numbers will be totaled in this area here. Then you will divide it by a total number of 16 to get your percentage. Now, if I have a student who is really struggling and performs in the 3s but also some 2s, I will just change this 4 to excellent. I will change this 3 to good, this 2 to fair, and this 1 to poor, and just make those words and not do a percentage, just so the student can say, oh, wow, I scored fair in this section here of sentence structure and word choice, and I really need to provide more of a variety, and I need to check for those subject-verb errors and use a thesaurus to up that word choice to make it better. And that's just beneficial for the student. Remember that your goal as a parent and a teacher is to just provide student with the feedback they need to improve the assignments and yet give a clear assessment as well. So that should explain the rubrics and scoring guide. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at info@essentialsinwriting.com, or you may phone me at 417-256-9318. Have a great day.